Thank you. Thank you so much. I was here 3.5 years ago, and it's just so beautiful to see how you guys have expanded into this lovely, lovely space. And for the last 3.5 years, I've been calling Selma and your guys' course group my Montana family. I tell everyone that I've been sitting here crying with gratitude, with how much love there is in this room, and how much love I feel, and how much love has expanded in my life in the last couple of years. And to be back here sharing this, anyway, I'm just grateful. So these are happy tears. Don't have to worry, Sharon. Is this an okay sound level? Okay. The title of the talk is When the Law of Attraction Doesn't Work. So there's a trick. Did any of you catch the error inherent in that title? Yes. What was it?
Doesn't.
Correct. Because it's a law. Right, exactly.
It's negative linguistic programming.
Oh, the negative there. Yeah, that's an added thing I didn't see. But the thing is that the law of attraction always works. So I'm going to talk today about when it appears not to work. And I'm just going to focus on one thing, which is when your ego beliefs are not matching what your soul's purpose, your soul's calling, your soul's desire is, but you have an ego belief that's blocking it, that you may not even fully see. And I'm going to tell some stories in my own life where I really didn't even see this up until a couple months ago. And I've been on this active spiritual journey my whole life, and I still didn't see these things. I had depression all my life. I had depression for 35 years until A Course in Miracles cured my depression. The psychotherapy that I knew managed my depression, but A Course in Miracles cured it. But when I was depressed, the only thing I ever wanted out of life was God. I only wanted two things out of life. I wanted God, first and foremost. And I also, if I was going to be living here in this world, I wanted the twin flame soulmate relationship where I could experience God with that person, experience that depth of oneness. And I consider the twin flame the soulmate of soulmates, the other half of your soul, the one, deeper than the deepest ocean. And I actually got that in this lifetime. And it's different than when you fall in love normally. There's a different quality to it. It goes deeper. It's just, you can't even explain it. And I was lucky enough to get it. And then also, it went haywire, and it got lost. So I still, I had this thing of, I always wanted God, so at least I still had God. But I always had this conflicting belief that I couldn't experience all of God while I was in a body. And maybe that's a Christian carryover that you have to die to go to heaven. And even though my metaphysical teachings had said, you can experience heaven right here and now, and that's what A Course in Miracles teaches. It says enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. It's right here, right now. And I felt that's why I was drawn to A Course in Miracles, because I knew I could never get enlightened. I couldn't meditate. I couldn't purify this ego. No way. I'll never wake up. But when A Course in Miracles said you can do it, that's what drew me to A Course in Miracles. But I was still depressed. I still carried that belief that I could not experience God fully in this body. And so one day I told my partner, this was a partner after that twin flame. After the twin flame, I couldn't believe in that anymore either. My soul believed in it, but I couldn't believe in it. Oh yeah, they're all right. It's just a freaking romantic fantasy. That's all it is. It wasn't real. It went haywire, so I just married the next nice man I could find. Divorced him, got with another guy. Nice man, but it wasn't the same. It just was not the same as this twin flame. So one day I told my partner, who was also a Course in Miracles student, I said, I am so tired. I am so tired of this life. I can't stand it anymore. Because one of the things about, well, I call this the dream character called Lorri, because I don't really consider this body to be who I am. But one thing about this dream character is I'm really sensitive, extremely emotional on the far end of the emotionality scale. And I always experienced life as just tremendous suffering. And the only time I could feel happy was when I would be reading spiritual material, praying, or meditating. But I still was miserable. I just didn't want to live. I just wanted to die since I was 20 years old. Because I saw that the world, like, every good thing has a bad thing attached to it, and there's just no way out. So I said to my partner, I just want to die. And he goes, well, he'd heard me saying that for years. So he said, well, you can make a decision to go. It's your dream. And he goes, I don't want you to, but you can do that. Because his grandfather, he was Native American. His grandfather was Native American, and his grandfather had said, this is the day I'm going to die. Puts on his boots, walks out into the desert, and dropped dead. So my partner knew that you could make the decision to die. I said, really? You mean really? I can do that? I'm like, all of a sudden I'm coming alive. I'm like, I can die? Oh, cool, good. And I said, I love you, but it's not enough to hold me here, and I'm out of here. And I'll tell you, I was so happy. I was just rolling with energy, and I had not had that much energy since 5 years prior when the book, Breaking Free, just poured through me. And that book wrote itself, and it wrote itself when I had finally stopped blaming this twin flame guy. I said, I have got to stop making him wrong. The Course in Miracles teaches me that it's all your dream, he's doing it, he's acting out for you, and you're making him wrong and you're blocking yourself. And as soon as I made that decision, I'm not going to make him wrong anymore, this book poured through me and wrote itself. But since that time, I hadn't been happy. I had just gone back to the depression, and I get to get out of here. Oh my God, I get to finally drop this body that I have not wanted to be in this body since I was 20 years old. And it wasn't because I didn't want to live. I knew there was a better place. I knew that this earth and bodies and form wasn't it. So it wasn't that I wanted to die. I wanted to live. So I had so much energy, and I had made up a memorial service. I made it all up. I got the songs. I contacted my girlfriend who was a minister, and I said, will you do the service for me? I started contacting all my friends and saying, I'm checking out. I had all this energy, and some of my friends were mad at me, for wanting to leave, but I'm like, well, sorry, I gotta go. So as I was doing this, I had gotten all my belongings, and I put notes on who would get what. I wrote notes to all my family members and other loved ones, and said, I love you, and I'll always be with you in spirit, but I had to check out of here. So I was going to send a copy of the memorial service to my girlfriend who was going to run the service. And she's a Course in Miracles student too, and she's like, Laura, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I don't want you to go, but I get it. And so she doesn't believe in death either. So I was going to send it to her, and I had a rough draft, but I had updated it, and I was going to print it and send it to her. So I went to print it, and my printer wasn't working. I thought, that's weird, because I just had printed a document earlier. And then I had the rough draft. And so I thought, well, let me just copy the rough draft. So I tried to copy it, and my printer still wouldn't work. I went back to my computer, and I went to another Word document, and I clicked print, and it printed. I thought, okay. And this thought came, take off the date of death. Because I had put my date of birth, and then I put date entered into eternal spirit life, May blank 2010. And I deleted that, and it printed. So I'm going, okay, I'm not in control here. So my ego belief and my ego desires are, I want to drop the body. Someone else is saying, not so fast. And I thought, well, maybe it's going to be June, I hope. In any case, I went and I'm still like, well, it's still going to happen, maybe just in June, not May. So I went and I saw my daughter who was away at school. I gave her some gold that I had. I didn't tell her that I thought I was going to die. And I thought, well, maybe I'll get in a car accident on the way home from there, because that was my last task, to see my daughter. Maybe I'll drop dead of a heart attack or an aneurysm. And then, all this energy that I had, I'm going to die, it's great, I love it. Nothing bothered me. All the things about my partner, all the spilling mustard and ketchup on the carpet didn't bother me anymore, because I'm out of here. It all went away. It was just gone. I went, where is it? Well, about 5 days later, I was driving, and there was a 2-lane highway by my house, and they had just put in a left turn lane and a right turn lane, which created a blind spot. And I pulled out and didn't see this SUV coming at 60 miles an hour. And we both slammed on the brakes at the same time, instinctively. And then I was like shaking and shaking. And driving home, I was only 3 miles from home. And then when I'm driving home, I went, wait a minute. I was supposed to be out of here. One more split second and I would have been out of here. What in the world just happened? And I was so mad at God, I was swearing at God and saying, you had better show me why the heck I'm still here, because I was supposed to be out of here and I don't want to be here in this stuff. So I got this prompt to open the Course in Miracles at random. And this is what I turned to. Lesson 191, I am the Holy Son of God Himself. And it's talking about accepting your true identity as the Holy Son of God Himself. And it says, deny your own identity and watch despair snatch from your fingers every scrap of hope, leaving you nothing but the wish to die. So I get some pretty clear messages, huh? Thing won't print, you're left with nothing but the wish to die. And so I said, okay, I get it, Spirit. You're telling me you can't die with this consciousness of the ego, because you just take your consciousness with you when you drop the body. You have to wake up in the body with a consciousness of you as the Holy Son of God, the Christ self, the higher self, whatever you want to call that self, you have to wake up here. Well, that was a conundrum for me, because I didn't want to be in a body. I didn't want to do that. I hadn't wanted to be in a body since I understood that this world was not my home. I wanted to be home. So I spent the next number of years just focusing on that. Okay, fine, I'm here. I still feel I'm stuck here, but okay, I will just focus on waking up to my true self. Damn it all anyway. But some wonderful things happened with that. As I started recognizing that I'm not Lorri, who has all these different problems, all these things I don't like about myself, I made a decision to get over the depression. And I said, okay, if I'm not Lorri, then I'm not depressed. And I can't be depressed because I'm not this body, and I'm not subject to my mother's genetics, who also had depression. And I don't have to throw and break things anymore, and I don't have to sit there and plan how I'm going to commit suicide so it looks like an accident. If I'm not Lorri, then that can be done. And so for a year, I was very consistent. Every time those thoughts and behaviors would come up, I would just say, that's not who I am. I'm the Holy Son of God Himself. But those are not my thoughts and feelings. I am the Christ self. And after a year of that, 35 years of depression that had been managed by psychotherapy techniques was cured. And it has not come back. So one of the reasons I was crying beforehand, not only with just feeling the love of all my Montana family here is that this song, and this happens at my spiritual center every time too, it's always perfect. Because I ain't done living the life I'm meant to lead. Well, as I said earlier, the two things I wanted was God, and I wanted that soulmate, the twin flame soulmate relationship. Not just any soulmate, because I had those too. They were nice. But I also had a conflicting belief. So getting back to the law of attraction, I didn't die because my real soul's purpose and real soul's desire was met. I wanted to live. I wanted to know God. I wanted to be part of God. And so Spirit made sure that that happened. So when the law of attraction doesn't appear to work, what's your real desire? Because if you're thinking your desire is this ego desire, and that's not your true desire, you can say 1,000 affirmations, it's not going to work. So getting back to the conflicting belief that I had with the twin flame soulmate was I wasn't, one, allowed to have that because that was part of this earth, and in order to be with God, I had to give up everything that I loved on this earth. That was an ego belief I had. And I also had the ego belief that was a romantic delusion, and I had the proof of it because I had it, and the guy went crazy, and that just didn't work. So let me just go with normal guys. Well, after a while, I got told by Spirit to leave my relationship because you're supposed to be back with your twin flame. I'm going, oh, I am really certifiably crazy now. I can't be back with this guy. He's crazy. I'm crazy. I've been yearning to be back with him all these years, almost 30 years. But I knew it was stupid. It was like, this isn't going to happen. And I had also gotten to the place where it's like, no, God's within me. But I still had this soul yearning for that because I didn't have it in my relationship. I had a good relationship, but that deep connection was not there. So I listened to Spirit, and I left this stable relationship thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm walking off another cliff here, but I had to go because I was being told to go. And after I left, I continued my spiritual work and came to this realization like, oh my gosh, I am that I am. Oh, the twin flame is me. Oh, the twin flame, that other half of you is your higher self. Oh, it's not a person. Oh. But I could see it was still an energy that could be reflected in another person, but it didn't have to be that person. So this guy that I'd been like longing to reconnect with for almost 30 years, it just kind of disappeared. Just kind of like, all of a sudden, I'm not going to die. All of a sudden, he was like, it was always there as an energetic field around me. It's like, where'd he go? He's not there anymore. It's like, whoa. So I went, okay, well, I was crazy in terms of, I guess I never would have left this relationship if I wasn't told I'd be back with him. I didn't understand it. I really didn't need another relationship at this point because I was healthier and more grounded in God. But then a guy that had been a friend of mine for 10 years said, Lorri, I think we're supposed to be in a romantic relationship to wake up together. And I went, really? Okay. Well, this is interesting because that's another principle in A Course in Miracles, that you wake up by healing all the ego crap between you and another person. You forgive it all, you heal it all, and then your Christ self comes forward. Well, our friendship went all the heck when we got to be romantic because all of our ego stuff came up. And yet, the oneness that I felt with this man, that connection, it was that twin flame energy. Oh my God, here it is again. I couldn't believe it. It was like, this is too good to be true. And then I wanted to live again. It's like, I hadn't wanted to live in the body for 25 years, and I wanted to live again. But then there's that belief, that conflicting belief of, oh, well, you don't want to live in the body. You can't live in the body and you have God too. And you can't have a romantic relationship and God too. So there's the conflict there. So what happened? He died. He died. Last summer, he just dropped dead. After we had gone through so much and I had healed And I had actually broken up with him, but was still very much in love with him and wanting to be back with him too. And going, God, I can't do this. I can't go another 30 years longing for this guy now. You got to help me. You got to help me get over this belief in loss and death. And 5 days after I prayed that, he died. And I knew it was a direct answer to my prayer. Not a fun answer by any means. And so then it was like, I'm back to the dark night of the soul. I don't want to be in a body anymore. Not now. Not that I've lost 2 loves in my life. I mean, I've had a lot of loves in my life with these 2. So I had to come to terms again with what my soul was saying. Obviously, he got to go, because he and I used to talk all the time about, we don't want to be in bodies anymore. We want to end the reincarnational cycle so we can be with God and be spirit all the rest of eternity. And he got to go and I didn't. So I had to look at that and go, what's my soul telling me? And I had seen visions for years of being a spiritual teacher into my 90s. And then for the last 10 years, I felt like I was supposed to teach relationships, like soulmate, twin flame type of relationships from a Course in Miracles perspective. But I thought I was freaking nuts, that that's not possible, right? But I said, okay, God, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know why. I'm still in a body, and Scott got to leave, and I didn't, but I'm just going to stop hating the body, okay? I will just stop judging the body. I'll just say, okay, I'm not going to judge the world. I'm not going to judge being in a body anymore. I'm here. I'll do whatever you want. 2 weeks later, this man that I met 25 years ago that I had a very strong connection with showed back up in my life, and the universe had actually been placing him in my life several times in the last year. Even though he lived in a totally other state, I kept running into him in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And he showed up in my life, and now here is this third oneness, twin flame, soulmate type of energy, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is here. So once again, I'm like, I want to live in the body. This is fun. But then you did something that really made me mad, and I thought, this isn't going to work. See, he's like all the rest of them. This is a romantic delusion. This will not work. What were you thinking? You think you're going to teach this. You think you're going to live this. You're crazy. But when I stopped judging him, just like with the first guy where I said, I got to stop making him wrong, when I stopped judging this guy, all of a sudden, something shifted. And it's just like an otherworldly shift where, oh my God, I was able to live in this world, in the body, in this relationship, and hold God at the same time. The 2 of them came together, and they had never come together for me, ever. It was either be all in this, or just meditating and all in God and shutting out the world. Never, ever, ever held them together. So the conflicting beliefs, so if you're something in your life with the law of attraction where it's not working, look at what is your soul asking you to do, and where are the beliefs that are conflicting? Because for me, my soul kept saying, you want God, and you want to be in a soulmate twin flame relationship, and you want to teach it. And I'm going, not possible. But my soul, no matter how many times I shut it off, I would watch romantic movies and go, I'm not affected by this at all. But it would keep coming back, and I couldn't let it go. And it wasn't until Scott died that it was like I had to really take a look at what is going on with my soul. What's it trying to tell me? And then I could see these beliefs, or I didn't even see them. I didn't even see them until I let them go and said, okay, God, I give. And so, if there's something in your life, look at that. What's your soul telling you, and what are the beliefs, the ego beliefs that say it's not possible? Because those are just ego beliefs, and Spirit can take them away. And I'm happy to say, Selma and Al have already invited me and my new man back. And he and I are going to be teaching. So the next time I come here, we're going to be teaching that twin flame soulmate as a path to God. Thank you.